Hello. Hello. Interrupted by my rooster. Okay. Hello. George is interrupting. One of his the spring chickens from last year actually is now crowing as well. It's got this really funny little... It's like just learning to crow. So George is going to be busy having a competitor in his midst, but they're crowing. So this is the reading for the 9th of February, the new moon in Aquarius. We're seeing the Queen of Cups and Judgment card. It's very like the energy is intense, absolutely. Over the next, like from now and then to the next week, it's going to be intense. It's like, hold on. I feel myself very scatty, very like hard to focus, feeling slightly agitated, and I can't work out quite why, or anxious about something, but I can't quite work out, pinpoint what that thing is. And I know that's a byproduct of the energy that's around. We have the moon making a conjunction to Pluto for the first time at this degree, the moon in Aquarius, when it starts moving into that new moon energy. So the intensity is really going to start lifting. And then we have, all these other planets, Mars, Venus, making a conjunction with Pluto. So very, very intense energy. So let's see what's coming in for the new moon. I do actually have a couple of other videos around that you might be interested in. That one is about, here we have this Page of Wands again, and the Knight of Wands. This energy is still coming in, and the Eight of Swords, but we just might not be seeing it or feeling it or thinking it's possible with this Eight of Swords. It's interesting. I was going to say I do have an extended reading, like a longer reading on the new moon. If you haven't already seen it, I will put a link for that. I've also, not kind of on purpose, but I just last night started tinkering and I rebranded. So I've changed some art and cover and started making thumbnails. And so the channel's going to look a little bit different, but it is me. I have noticed that people are like, oh, I didn't realize it was you. But yeah, a bit of an image revamp for the channel, which is actually really good. And I also have a video which I promised coming out that we did with my Patreon channel. We do a live healing once a month, and I record it and then put it out there for the people that weren't able to attend live. And so I've put that out because it's got a lot to do with this intense energy of working with Pluto in Aquarius and the underworld. And we've just got a lot of that energy around at this moment in time. And I just got the message. My guides keep harassing me to put it out, put it out, put it out. So lots happening on the channel. And also, yeah, I am going to be having a Valentine's Day sale on tarot readings starting from this weekend when the mid-months come out. Yeah, Valentine's Day is going to be an interesting one, the day that Mars is conjunct Pluto. Woo, okay, so let's look at this reading. Let's focus, and that's part of the thing is there's just so much scatty energy around. It's like new moon in Aquarius. Let's focus on that. We have this Queen of Cups who is potentially very emotional or feeling a little bit emotionally restrictive or, battling with some ideas that she's going on. We've got this Judgment card, which is this intense energy of energies, like understanding that things have passed over. This queen is really reflective and emotionally processing what has passed over in her life. And the Judgment card is very much tied to the underworld as well in a way, but it's about a transition from the underworld to the higher realms to be able to clear out some of that kind of energy that is ready to move on in your life at this moment in time. But I feel like this queen could be struggling with that in a way because she's next to the Eight of Swords, which is a feeling of being blindsided or restricted or just feeling frustrated or stuck in limited forms of thinking or, perhaps actually, what I'm getting here ultimately is what's happening with this queen is that she's releasing other people's opinions of her. That's what I feel like she's releasing. It almost feels like this sort of old shedding of the old identity in some way, parts of that. But she's like going, I don't need to, that's your reality. I don't need to take on your beliefs of who I am and what I am and all of this sort of stuff. And perhaps it's something somebody said or believed or about you or an opinion of you that just really stuck with you in some way. it could have even been something from a long time ago, from childhood, where it's like, I believe this about myself. But this Queen of Cups is looking at this cup going, I need to nurture myself. I need to look after myself. I'm feeling quite emotional. And we can see these energies are passing through with the Judgment card. So it might feel like a major review type energy with this Queen of Cups about who she is, where she is, the relationships, where she wants to go. Because once it all cleans and clears out with the Judgment card, here we move into this element of fire, which we're seeing these new potentials of moving forward. But it is that sense of it, you have to let the energies pass up from that underworld into the higher realms and to be cleared and cleaned. So with the Judgment energy here, the best way to be working with this energy, if things are coming up and they feel quite emotionally intense or restrictive, or there's an emotional agitation of some sort that comes through with this, it's understanding that this cleaning and clearing is the best way to get rid of the energy. The energy does need to find a space to be cleared, reviewed, without judgment, actually, without getting too caught up on it and just going, yep, that was how it was, but I'm moving on. I'm making a choice here to move into something new here with the Page of Wands. Stepping into the desert. The page is very pioneering, ready to explore something new that has dried up. It's interesting because they kept bringing me to this Queen of Cups. She's sitting there with all this water around her in this beautiful watery realm, but she's right next to this Eight of Swords, which this character is bound through by its thoughts. And there's hardly any water around with this Eight of Swords. So it's almost like this Queen saying, this Queen energy saying, I need to refill my cup. What's happened to all my water? I need to come back and emotionally replenish in some way. And so it's like she's searching for an emotional connection, but it's like the mind or something, there's a barrier there inside belief system or minds that's stopping that. And interestingly, because then we have the Page of Wands stepping out into the ocean going, this is a dry, barren terrain. There hasn't been any water here. There hasn't been any love here. This is not something that I've given any emotions to, and it needs it now. And now it needs it. I'm seeing the opportunity to explore new things that can bring emotional fulfillment or love or something that just feels like you're ready to put some emotional connection, make some kind of new emotional connection here. And so this Page of Wands is saying, I am seeing new growth after that clear out, major judgment energy of major clear out. And suddenly the page finds itself in this new terrain, ready to go exploring what's here. And is actually giving messages to this Queen of Wands. She's surrounded by all this support. She's got her page, she's got her knight by her side. This poor little Queen of Cups is surrounded by the intense energies of judgment and the Eight of Swords. She's not feeling as good as this Queen of Wands energy. So it's a real shift of moving from like this deep, watery realm, which can be some flowy emotions, and it can be some volatile emotions. It can just be some big feelings that are coming up around all of this. And then getting really motivated. There's an opportunity here to move into the fire energy and be the Queen of Wands instead of the Queen of Cups, which we do need to be the Queen of Cups at the beginning of the journey. And then we turn that water into more of a place to direct it, a place for it to go. It's like maybe getting really motivated by some things that you have processed and let go of and released some old limiting beliefs or other people's opinions of you and go, you know what? I'm going out there. I'm doing this. I'm connecting to this new energy. And maybe I'm not feeling super experienced with it, but this Queen is getting all the intel, all the messages that she needs from the page. The knight is returning to her. The page is returning to her. She's getting everything because she's looking for new opportunities. She's trying to build a new city in this desert, and she needs to know if it's going to work or not. There's some new growth that wants to come in. Interestingly, this Knight of Wands is galloping over the desert as well to get to the Queen. So it's very hot and arid and dry. There's a lot of heat around as well. But it does feel like where the energy can move, it feels like a big shift of where the energy can move from this air energy to the fire energy. And once it moves to that fire energy, it's things can start to flow and move a lot faster. And it feels like you might be getting a lot of messaging around change, how you can make change, how you can move forward, how you can bring, turn this into an opportunity and create some kind of new, exciting energy in your life. So, or just a positive shift and change. So this Queen is really saying, I need to build something in this desert. I need to understand where's the water for a start. But she's got it here. She's got the Queen of Cups there, but it just feels like it's not quite. This Queen of Cups could be a very emotionally sensitive energy as well. So, yeah, I feel like there's, the energy around at the moment over the next week is going to be like pretty gnarly. So it's hold on for your prairie rugs. But I always try and tap into the higher potentials, because what's the point of it otherwise? What's the point of going into these energies if they're just going to throw you around and make you feel this and make you feel that? What is the point? And so I'm like, there has to be a higher reason, a higher potential that comes out of all of this. And so that's what we're kind of seeing here with the Page of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the Knight of Wands. So be aware of what comes towards you. This Queen of Wands is a magnet. So she has a lot coming in. She's got messages coming in. She's got things that could potentially move and make some changes coming through, opportunities around that. So she also is feeling a lot more supported by the universe than this beautiful Queen of Cups. So it's going from a place where you feel almost like you're in some kind of you're fighting against the energies, into a place where you feel like the energies are supporting you a lot more. So I always read everything into the readings. I've had this issue with my pool, with the water, and it came up yesterday. It happened in yesterday's reading when we were talking about the King of Cups being this body of water and what was in there. And as I was thinking about that, I looked out and there's this snake in the pool slithering around. And just a pretty small snake, but I'm like, okay, I've got to deal with that. And this snake, originally I thought it was a brown snake, which is a very highly venomous snake. I'm now thinking it's a different type of snake, a whip snake. But the whole point is that we're talking about the water. And actually I thought it was about, see, this is where there can be some major revelations happening with this new moon. It's shifting your perspective. Originally, I thought, oh, there's fear in the water. There's something dangerous in the water. And so I'm like, oh, what does that all mean? And now I'm actually seeing it from the perspective of the poor snake. We do have the snake person coming out to rescue it and to move it on in a moment. And actually thinking, well, yeah, luckily there's places in the pools. There's a filter where it can take refuge. That's what the Queen of Cups, it needs to be rescued in a way, and we don't want it to drown. So it will be moved on to another place. I don't want it near my pool. But that's kind of where I feel like it's almost like this sense of, and we need to clean and clear it out. That's the energy around it, to feel safe. And that's what this Queen of Cups needs, to feel safe, to step into new terrain, to step into new territory, to feel confident, to be able to feel like she's now, the Page of Wands and this Queen of Wands is looking at how she's going to survive in the desert, how she's going to survive in this new territory. And so she's feeling quite motivated about it. She's got this sense of, I've got my helpers around, I've got my support energies around. But at the same time, it is a question of survival and safety that can come in around all of these energies as well. And so it really feels like it's something like maybe a part of us that feels quite vulnerable, that is looking to emotionally thrive, not just survive in the world. And the answers are coming in the ways that we might not be expecting, and through shifts of perception that are coming in. And it may be that something that you thought was fearful in the first place, you can shift your perspective into something to understand it from that thing's point of view. Maybe it's the thing that's actually really scared and fearful, or this other person or other part of you that's actually scared of the changes that are coming through and holding on for dear life. Whereas the Judgment card is saying there's a lot that needs to be released here. If there's a restricted energy or a restricted space, this Queen of Cups is going deep inside herself to release that, to let go of some kind of restriction where it didn't quite feel safe for her for whatever reason, or she needed to emotionally replenish. Whereas this Queen of Wands is confident. It could be a lot to do with confidence as well, because this Queen of Wands is confident. She's in the desert, but she's not worried about it. She's like, I'm here. This is a challenge. So it's moving from like a space of feeling quite vulnerable and uncertain and a lot of emotions, and to a place where you can feel more confident and assertive, and finding opportunities where opportunities didn't exist before, back into a new terrain, even though it might be something you don't know so well, new territory, but at the same time you're gaining confidence in that place. And it's almost like if the universe didn't shake it up a little bit and take you out of that safety, take the safety net away, or put you in a place that felt suddenly really restrictive, or needing to find some kind of, it was shaking up the place, so it wasn't feeling as good as or safe as it used to, then you would never probably have transmuted into this other energy and seen the opportunity that lies in front of you. So yeah, again, it's all this element of air energy around, a lot of talking. But that is the energy I'm getting for the new moon in Aquarius. And so it's interesting, we've got the Leo Queen coming out as well with the Queen of Wands, because the Leo is the opposite sign energy of Aquarius. And it's interesting as well because Pluto is the underworld and shows you the shadow, and the shadow of Aquarius is actually Leo energy as well. So it's finding the balance between those two, but it may be that there's new motivations, new desires, new drives that are coming out, new ambitions that are coming out of this new moon that we originally couldn't see for whatever reason. So that is it. That's the reading. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Love to read your comments. Keep an eye out for all the rest of the readings that I've been talking about. For some reason, there's a lot happening, and take care.